For months, the void replied with nothing but static. No voice, no signal, only silence stretching across the black sea of stars. The farthest object humanity has ever sent into the cosmos was drifting deeper into the unknown. Voyager 1, our mechanical messenger, had gone dark. Its language, once so clear, now distorted into nonsense, broken by the cold. It was as if the universe had swallowed its voice. After more than 4 decades crossing planets and starlight, it had vanished without a whisper. And then, without warning, it spoke again. A signal pulsed back to Earth, not noise, but something structured. It had rhythm. It had pattern. It had intention. Scientists stared at their screens, breath held, time slowing. What the data revealed was beyond strange. It was not just information, it was a message that should not exist. The kind of message that makes physicists tremble and recheck reality itself. A Nobel-winning scientist, pale and shaken, stepped before the cameras. "This changes everything," he said. "We may be witnessing something that isn't supposed to be there." What had Voyager seen out there? And why were some experts whispering that this signal could be a first contact? Not from aliens, but from the unknown itself. Stay with us. Because this isn't just the story of a machine. This may be the story of the first human artifact to touch the veil of another reality. Launched in the autumn of 1977, Voyager 1 was never meant to live this long. Built by human hands in an age of rotary phones and analog dials, it was crafted for a short journey. Its mission, to glide past the gas giants, to snap a few photos, and then fade quietly into the night. But Voyager had other plans. It survived solar storms, radiation belts, the icy breath of deep space. It danced past Jupiter, stealing glimpses of its stormy eye. It flew by Saturn, threading the rings of a god with silent precision. And then, beyond the orbits of the giants, it was flung outward, into the deep. Into the interstellar dark. But what allowed that journey was not just technology, it was timing. A celestial alignment, a planetary choreography, happens only once every 176 years. The worlds were arranged like stepping stones across a cosmic river. Using gravity as a slingshot, engineers hurled Voyager from one world to the next. They called it the Grand Tour. It worked. Voyager rode the momentum of planets, gaining speed, energy, and direction. And now, nearly 5 decades later, it has drifted more than 14 billion miles from Earth. A distance so vast, the light from its launch day is still racing through space. Out there, past the sun's reach, Voyager entered the unknown. It became the first machine to pierce the heliopause, the invisible border where the sun's influence ends. Beyond that line was supposed to be silence. Emptiness? A void? Clear? Coherent? Impossible. What Voyager transmitted next did not just raise eyebrows. It shattered expectations. This wasn't routine data. This was something else. Readings from Voyager's instruments began to defy all models of interstellar space. The plasma around the craft pulsed unnaturally. Magnetic fields twisted in unpredictable ways. Charged particles surged, their density spiking without cause. Waves of energy, unanchored to stars or systems, danced across its sensors. It was as if Voyager had drifted into a different kind of space altogether. One physicist whispered, "It's like it's not just outside the solar system anymore. It's outside something else entirely. The cosmic rays, normally predictable, shifted their orientation. The magnetic lines, once straight, now curved and tangled, as if flowing around an unseen presence. Some researchers began using a word rarely spoken outside science fiction. Liminal. A space between spaces. A borderland between the known and the unknowable. Then came the drift. Subtle, barely measurable, but real. Voyager's path began to sway slightly, as if nudged by an invisible hand. No asteroids? No gravity wells. No logical explanation. Something unseen was tugging at the craft. Scientists pored over the data, searching for noise, errors, interference. But what they found instead was a pattern. A pulse. Not noise. Not chaos. A rhythmic fluctuation echoing from the region Voyager had just crossed. It repeated. Timed. Structured. First thought to be instrument failure, then suspected as background radiation. But it matched no known cosmic signature. Not a pulsar. Not a quasar. Not a star. And then, something chilling. The pulse changed. Just slightly. Each time Voyager transmitted, the pulse responded. As if something out there was not just emitting, but listening. The pulse was learning. With every signal we sent, it echoed back with variation, as if it was adapting, tuning itself to our frequency. Not just mimicking us, but mirroring. Then something impossible happened. A fragment of the pulse aligned perfectly with Voyager's golden record. Not the whole message. Just a phrase. A mathematical sequence. Prime numbers, broadcast decades ago by us. Now returned. Enhanced? Refined? Somehow, it had been heard. Somehow, it had been understood. The team at Mission Control fell silent, staring at a signal that had no right to exist. It was intelligent, or crafted by intelligence. But from where? There were no stars nearby. No planets. No moons. No comets. Just the empty dark. Except, it wasn't empty anymore. Voyager's instruments began detecting weak, gravitational anomalies. Not strong enough for a black hole. Too irregular for dark matter. Some theorized, an artificial mass. A cloaked object. Others whispered, a fold in spacetime. Even light itself seemed slower. Like it was moving through something unseen. A fog. A membrane. A veil? One engineer muttered, "We didn't cross the boundary of the solar system. We crossed the boundary of reality." And in the silence of space, Voyager kept drifting forward. Alone.